Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the question answers of the chapter Understanding Secularism. Now we have already done the thorough revision of this chapter. Now today I am going to discuss some of the important questions which may come in the exam. Like, what is secularism? What do you understand by the term secularism, or define secularism, or what is secularism? This kind of a question may come in the exam. So secularism means separation. Secularism means separation of state and religion, where the government do not interfere in the religious matter of the people. And secondly, where people are free to adopt, to practice, to propagate any religion, where citizens of the country are having freedom of religion. That is secularism, where the state do not interfere in the religious matter. There is a total separation of the state and the religion. The state here means the government do not promote any religion. You will not see any programs or any functions related to religion is celebrated in government schools and offices. In all the government schools and offices, if there is any festival, Diwali, Eid, Christmas, they are having holiday, because it is up to the people how they are going to celebrate it. As in government organization, they cannot promote any one religion. And in many cases you must have seen that it is compulsory to wear the helmet when you are riding the bike or scooty. But if there is a sardar, and sardars, that is a Sikh, they always wear the pagdi. So it is not possible to wear helmet over the pagdi. So they are allowed to ride the bicycle. They are allowed to ride a bike, or they can ride the scooty also without wearing the helmet. So government, if it is related something to religion, government do not interfere. And at the same time, the people are free to practice, propagate, adopt any religion. There is a freedom of religion in all the democratic countries. So that is secularism. Okay. Now, and second most important question is, why is it important? Why is it important to separate? Why it is important to separate the religion from the state? Now, it is very important to separate religion from the state in a democratic country, because there are two reasons. One, that in a democratic country, there is always more chance for those religious communities which are in majority, which are more in number. So suppose that kind of a political party gains the power, which is having a very conservative mindset, which want to promote one particular religion, then what will happen? They will enforce their religion on the minorities. And maybe they will persecute them also if they are not going to adopt their religion. So to prevent this kind of a happening, it is important that in a democratic country there should be freedom of religion. There should be secularism. Now, to put it in a more simple term, look, in a democracy, what happens? People go and they give their vote, isn't it? So the community which is more in number, that political party is having more chance to win. They are having more chance to win. And if such political party wins the election and they forms the government, then what they will do? They will use their power and the financial resources to suppress the minority. They may even enforce them. They may even prosecute them, the way Hitler did. What Hitler did, he persecuted so many Jews, killed so many Jews just because of the religion. So if such kind of a fanatic political party forms the government, then what will happen? So to prevent such kind of a situation, it is very important that in a democratic country there should be secularism. And the second important point is that it is also necessary to protect the freedom of individuals. It is to protect the freedom of individuals to exit from their religion, to embrace another religion, and have freedom to interpret religious teachings differently. Now, one point is that it is important to protect the minority. Another point is that it is important to protect even individuals also, because within the majority religious community also, maybe some people want to change their religion. Maybe some people want to embrace other religion, maybe some people don't want to follow any religion. This can happen. It is up to the individual choice, it is a personal choice. So to empower the individual, if they want to exit from their religion, or if they want to adopt any other religion, or if they want to interpret the religious teaching, they can do. Okay, no one should force them that this slok means this only. The person can understand the thing in their own way also. Like when we are reading the Bhagavad Gita, or when we are reading the Ramayana or Bible, whatever. So what is happening, there are so many phrases, so many shloks, so many dohas and all. So it is up to us to understand the thing. No one should dictate us that what does it mean. We can understand the religion from our own perspective. So that is also very important. So why it is important in a democratic country? It is to have secularism. It is because of two reasons. One, to protect the minority from being dominated by the majority. Okay, like in our country Muslims are in minority, in our country Christians are in minority, in our country Sikhs are in minority, Buddhists are in minority. So there are so many religious groups which are in minority. So to protect their right, it is very important to have a secular country. And second, there should be freedom to the individual to adopt any religion, to embrace any religion, and if they want to exit from their religion, that also they can do. They should have the freedom to interpret the religious teachings as per their own understanding. So to protect the individual freedom also, and to protect the minority also, it is very important to separate the religion from the state. Okay, now the third question is, what is Indian secularism? What do what are the important features of the Indian secularism? Now, the Indian constitution mandates that the Indian state be secular. According to the constitution, only a secular state can realize its objective to ensure the following. What are the following things which it wanted to ensure? First, that one religious community should not dominate the other religious community. Basically, it means that majority should not dominate the minority. Everyone should have the equal rights. That is the first point. Then the second is that some members do not dominate others member of the same religious community. It also happens that within the same religion also, some people become more powerful than other, and they started dominating them. Like if we take the example of Hinduism, what in Hinduism Brahmins were earlier more powerful, and what they were doing, they were dominating the people of the lower caste, or the upper caste were exploiting the people of the lower caste. So within one religion, you can see some people dominate the other. So that should not happen. That some members from one particular community, one particular religious community, dominate the weaker section within that community. It should not happen. Okay, and that's third, that the state does not enforce any particular religion, not take away the religious freedom of individual. It is also very important that the government do not enforce their religion on the people, and people should have freedom of religion. So to ensure these objectives, to ensure these three objectives, it is very important for India to be a secular country. What are those things? I am repeating again. First is that one religious community do not dominate the other religious community. That is, the majority should not dominate the minority. Second, within the one religious community, some people do not dominate the others. Like in Hinduism, I told you that the upper caste people were dominating the lower caste people. Such kind of a thing should not happen. And third, the government should not enforce their religious values on the people, and people should have freedom to understand the religion, to practice any religion, or if they want to exit, that also they can do. They can interpret the religious teachings as per their own understanding. So that freedom should be there with the people. Okay, now last question, which is also very important: will the government intervene? Will the government intervene if some religious group says that their religions allow them to practice infanticide? Will the government intervene if some religious group says that it is in their religion to practice infanticide? Now, no, definitely, infanticide is not something which any religious teaching can tell, because infanticide means killing of the child. So the answer will be yes. Yes, definitely, the government will intervene if the people practice infanticide in the name of religion, because infanticide means killing of the child, and it is very inhuman practice, it is very inhuman, uncivilized practice, and it is against the fundamental right, that is right to life. Okay, so Indian government do not interfere in the religious matter, but when the someone's right to, when someone's fundamental rights are curtailed or taken away in the name of religion, in such circumstances the government intervene. Okay, thank you.